Well, good morning. I'd like to call the meeting to order. And it says opening remarks, and I think the best thing I can do is not make any. And hey. So it says appoint tellers and parliamentarian, and Gary agreed to be the parliamentarian, and Chuck Alton said he would round up some tellers, so I think he's doing that right now. So if we can establish that a quorum's present, Gary? 147, okay. Can we have the opening prayer, Pastor Mark?
The Lord be with you. And also with you. Let us pray. We thank you, Lord, for this special day in the life of St. Mark, not only for the opportunity to celebrate love on Valentine's for one another and for you, but also for this chance to thank you for the ways in which you have empowered us to extend that love through the mission and ministry of St. Mark. We thank you for the work that we are able to do on your behalf, and we pray, Lord, that you would bless our meeting today. Bless us as we begin to focus on our future, a wonderful future together as we continue to build your kingdom on earth, and especially here, the ministry of St. Mark. Bless us for this work and for our meeting today. In Jesus' name, amen.
Next, we have to approve our agenda, and I'd like to, it's already presented to you, so if we can approve that, I'd like to have a second for the approval. So moved. Okay. Now, we can either do a vote with a ballot, or we can do a verbal vote. So, whichever, would you like just a verbal vote approval? Yeah. Okay. Everybody in approve, say aye. 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 Opposed? Passed. Secretary's report. Gretchen?
The report is presented as written. If there are any questions. If not, then we'll move on. Thank you.
I can see this meeting's going to go really smooth. I'd like to introduce the council for this year. Our Vice President, Jeff Jones. Jeff, would you stand up? Okay. Secretary is Gretchen Cooper. Mike Belk. Gone? Okay. Jan Cotter? I don't think she's here. Trent Johnson? Okay. Jody Miller? Karen Oslin? Okay. Tim Begovich? Mike Turkis? Okay. And Margaret Yoakum isn't able to be here this morning. I'd like to thank all of the council for all the work they did, and appreciate all you have done. Thank you very much. Next, we have the nominating committee report. Sue Buzzard, can you come up and...
Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to thank all the members that were willing to serve St. Mark this year. We had a lot of great candidates, and that's a wonderful thing, you know, that you have so many wonderful people to choose from. And I really also want to acknowledge the people that helped me, because it really wasn't all me. It was mostly my committee. So if you're here, if you could stand up, Martin McDaniel, Bob Michaels, Vicki Thomas, and Kim Menke. And we worked very hard together to come up with names for all of the positions, tried to get good representation, female, male, age things, and all of that. And so I'm very grateful for our new nominees. And do you want me to name those, or? Yeah, they're all on the ballot. So I'm just grateful and want to give a big thanks and hug to all the people that are willing to serve.
I'd like to ask the tellers to pass out the ballot so we can vote on the nominations. Okay, would the tellers please begin counting the ballots? And now we'll go to the senior pastor's report.
By the very virtue of my office and personality, I cannot mimic this guy in brevity. So I have a few things to say this morning, but my thought about this was that I think that a pastor's report at an annual meeting should be along the same veins as a pastor's homily at a wedding, short and sweet. Amen? Amen. Okay, all right. I'll do my best. There are some things I want to cover this morning. I always feel a deep sense of gratitude when we have these annual meetings. And I think we all come to this place today, hopefully, with a sense of gratitude. I think this is largely our response both to the gospel, to Christ, to the church, and to the ministry. It is always one of thankfulness and gratefulness to God. And so as your senior pastor, I want to begin by saying how grateful I am to be among you. And I know I say that for Naomi as well. We are just deeply grateful to share in this ministry with you. And we thank you from just the depths of our hearts. We're so grateful. This year has been an amazing year, 2015. I look at first of all, just the turnover of staff that we had right in the beginning of 2015. As you know, Pastor Stolberg, after 5+ very productive and wonderful years, took a new call in Belvedere. He left in January. And then we had 8 wonderful months of interim ministry by Pastor Woody Knutson. Then at the end of May, we celebrated with Margaret Dean 20 years of just incredible music ministry here at St. Mark. And then Bob Rube came into our lives as the new staff person of music, our new director. And that's been a whirlwind of just a great activity again. What a blessing to have Bob here. Then Pastor Chad began his ministry here through the call process. August 10th, I believe, was the day you began. And again, Chad hit the road running. It's just been a wonderful series of just wonderful transitions. We're so grateful to everyone, and especially grateful to God for leading us through those times of transitions, saying goodbye and saying hello, and moving through all of that. And I have to say, just on a personal note, Pastor Chad, how grateful I am to you. You are a great colleague and a friend. And I am so excited to have you here and to share pastoral ministry with you. Thank you very much. I would also indicate that Chad and I share our love and affection for Pastor Don Lavelle, and I don't believe Don is here. He had another commitment, but our combined affection for Don and the work he does here is just amazing. So even he's not here, let's clap as though he can hear us, okay? All right. I heard him say thank you. I heard him. I could feel it. I want to thank also our entire staff. I am just so pleased to work with every single one of the staff at St. Mark. And we are so blessed to have each of these individuals here. I want to read their names, and has staff, as your names are, would you please stand and we'll applaud at the end. But again, I would like to add Bob Rube. Would you stand, Bob? And Karen Kammer. Where's Karen? There she is. There's Karen. Very good. Jill Davenport. Jill is here. Jill, would you stand? Melinda Alekna. Would you stand? Thank you. Brian Venstrom. He is here. Dave Blunt. There he is. Christine Siemens is probably doing her job back in the nursery. And then receptionist Marcia Scott. Marcia, would you stand, please? Before we clap, I just want to say, take a look at these faces. And I'm not sure what that means, but take a look at these faces. These are the faces of the hands and the work of so much of what happens here at St. Mark. And they are busy throughout the week, and I'm so grateful. These are incredibly talented, committed, loving people. They do a great job for all of you, and they deserve our profound thanks. Let's thank them. Thank you. As I said in my sermon this morning, I truly believe that this is a Kairos moment. This is a time in which God is acting in incredible ways. I don't know about you, but I was just blown away by the talents of St. Mark last fall. That, to me, spoke volumes about the character, the nature, the willingness, and the commitment of you as a congregation. What a great event that was. And, of course, out of something like that, we all ask, what does that mean? What more can we do to serve God and our neighbors? And, of course, that's the right question to continually keep in front of us. As I mentioned, this past year was one of transition, and we saw God at work in the coming and the going, the celebration of those transitions, and the receiving of new people. We received, I believe, Karen, what was the number in our new members class? We received, was it 30 new members? 33 new members. Just a terrific new members class. And thank you, Karen, for all the work you and others have done to invite and shape that, to Charles and to Lisa for their work as well. But this year, 2016, is going to be a year of building. Whereas last year was transition, this year is going to be a year of building. And when I say building, yes, certainly dealing with the building of St. Mark, but we are going to build upon the talents of St. Mark. We're going to build upon our mission statement, growing in faith, sharing God's grace. We're going to continue to build. And as I said, we can't stay still. We have to keep moving. And so you used your imaginations in the talents of St. Mark, and that is something we're going to need from every single person, to keep those imaginations, that receptivity to the Holy Spirit alive and well. We keep talking, we keep thinking, we keep acting to do, going together and supporting one another's work. And that is so important as we continue to build for the coming year. Finally, I also just have to give an update on Naomi. And this is important because I know that you pray for both of us, and we deeply appreciate that. Over the last few years, we've just been so amazed by the outreach from you as a congregation to us as pastor and wife. I need to give you an update on Naomi's condition. Her condition is called, it's early onset Alzheimer's, but within that she has a rare disorder called posterior cortical atrophy, which means the back of her brain is shrinking, and the tangles and plaques which occur in Alzheimer's have been moving from there to the primary visual cortex as well. One of the things that we experience with Naomi on a daily basis, again, is the loss of her sight. When you see Naomi, she may not see you. Even though you say hi and walk up to her and you assume that she sees you, she probably does not. She is almost 100% blind at this point. We had visits with the doctors this last 2 weeks ago with her primary doctor here, and then the neurologist last week up in Madison. So her disease continues to progress. As you know, Naomi is Naomi. She's delightful. She's happy. She's just, I can't tell you how much being here with you means to her. You are her life. You really are, and it means everything that you're here. And it does to me too. So when you greet Naomi, go up and take her by the hand. Tell her who you are. She may not see you, but continue to welcome her and greet her. This is something she struggles with, is her sight, and also just her orientation. There are other aspects of her disease I won't go into, but again, as the disease progresses, we want you to know how much both of us appreciate all that you do for us. We really do. So thank you very much. I also want to just say that for the past year, in particular, and even this last half year, much of my time has gone into the work that a senior pastor often does during a capital campaign, and that is to lead the charge, to hold up the vision of this church that I see for the council, for the congregation, and for the staff. I always try to include as many people as possible and do it as equitably as possible, but my job is to lead as senior pastor, and my job is to present a vision, one that I have prayed through and discerned, and one that I feel over the long haul serves the congregation well. And so what we're going to do today is to present to you a campaign, one that I have worked with and have been surrounded by great people, our staff, our council, our campaign committee that we're going to introduce in a bit. But throughout the last year in particular, much of my time has gone into that. And while it is certainly extra time and work, I have to tell you it's absolutely vital to my work as senior pastor to lift up this vision and to invite the congregation to support it. I mean, that's why we're here. We're here to support one another. So you're not doing this to support me. I'm here to articulate the vision that the council is lifting up to you as well. But we're all in this together. And I want to thank our staff, our council, our campaign committee, all the people that support and pray for the growth of this church. And I am so excited today to present this campaign to you because it comes out of deep prayer, deep discernment and discussion over a great period of time. And we are excited to finally present it today and to see what God is doing in the future. So that's a big part of my life right now is this campaign, and will continue to be. And so I encourage any of you who have any questions about it, talk to me. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'm happy to listen and to share my excitement for it as time goes on. With that, I just want to thank you again for your courtesy of listening today, for your prayers, your support, and for partnering with me as your senior pastor. Thank you very much.
Well, next on the agenda is the amendment of the Constitution, and Jeff Jones said that he would present that as a member of the Endowment Committee and explain it so we'd all understand. Remember, Jeff, less than a half hour. Huh? Yeah.
This is on page 23 of your annual report, or it's up here. This is the proposed change to the church constitution. There is hereby established the St. Mark Endowment Fund. The fund shall be supervised, managed, invested, and administered by the Endowment Fund Board. It shall be the function of the board to receive and to hold in safekeeping all assets of the fund, to make all authorized disbursements from the fund, and to keep records of all receipts and disbursements by and from the fund, and generally to administer the fund. It's the next sentence is the proposed change. The fund shall hold all and general specific bequests or other endowments which are not restricted or designated as to the use by their terms, and all bequests or other endowments which are designated by the donor to be used for a specific purpose upon the acceptance of the same board. And we're proposing the next sentence is what would go in there. The fund shall hold all of those bequests, endowments, and gifts specifically made to or designated for the endowment fund. This includes A, all gifts, bequests, or endowments to the endowment fund, which are not restricted or designated as to the use of their terms. And B, all gifts, bequests, or other endowments to the endowment fund, which are designated by the donor to be used specific purpose upon the acceptance of the board. And basically, what it is that we're trying to split these so it's better understood. Bequests that are given to the church are basically administered by the council, and bequests that are given to the endowment fund are then administered by the endowment fund. Does anybody have any questions? Could we have a motion to approve the constitutional change? Is that how we? Okay. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and next, our treasurer's report, Jeff.
Okay. You can say next slide, and I'll just do it. Can't be that difficult, right? All right, I'll try to make this as painless as possible. Before I get started on this, though, I would like to express my gratitude and thanks to the members of the Audit Committee, Mark Malinchek, Jerry Thomas, and Lori Johnson, for once again taking time to review our records and keep us in accordance with the bylaws of St. Mark. The 2015 results of our revenue. We were in line with our 2015 planned numbers. We budgeted $778,673, and we actually brought in $770,925. A comparison of revenue from 2012 to 2015. You can see our stewardship drive was a success, and the congregation responded with the sufficient pledges to meet our income needs for 2015. 2015 results for our expenses. Again, we brought in $770,925 in revenue. However, we did not spend that much. Our total expenses for 2015 was $741,949, leaving us with $28,976 in surplus funds. A comparison of our expenses from 2012 to 15. Again, we were about $29,000 less than we had budgeted for this past year. Comparison of the net funds from 2012 to 2015. Again, income exceeded our expenses by the $28,976, and this does continue to be our trend of spending less than we had budgeted. Our debt, the mortgage balance at the end of 2015 was $299,453. The mortgage is set up on a 3-year balloon with a fixed commercial rate of 4.674% finance. We refinanced in 2013. Beginning last year, we had a line of credit with zero. We did not borrow any money last year, so again, we remain at zero. We do have a current line of credit available to us at $150,000 should we need it. As many of you recall, we replaced a huge section of our roof last year. Kenora Myers and Area Mechanical conducted the repairs. Funding for this major renovation was completed using the Britta Landstrom's bequest. We're very grateful to the Landstrom family for their generous donation. Going into 2016, Pastor Mark, Dave Blunt, and the members of the Executive Committee spent a great deal of time preparing the budget for 16. The budget we've prepared is for $792,965 in revenue. This is $14,292 increase from last year's budget, and overall, it equates to a 1.8% increase. For expenses, we planned $792,965 in expenses. We expect to spend that full amount, which would leave us with a balanced budget. Sorry. And this slide here, just again, shows that our income, we budgeted for $792,965 for income, and our expenses were $792,965. So we are projecting a balanced budget, and again, this is a 1.8% increase from last year's budget. And that is a report. Okay.
You said that you refinanced in 2013 with a 3-year balloon.
Correct.
Does that mean that we will have to again refinance this year?
Yes. And towards the end of the year, we'll be looking to refinance again.
Gary, do we have a choice of voting? Can we do a voice vote rather than ballots? All those in favor say,
Not a question, but I'd make a motion to approve the 2016 budget.
okay, thank you. Is there a second? Okay. Now we can do a voice vote, or we can do a ballot. I'd kind of like to go with a voice vote if we can. So all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passed. Okay, what do we got next? It says reports of the ministries. Well, I'm not going to read all that. You passed your, everybody's picked up a copy of the meeting today, and I read through that, and it's really wonderful, all the things that everybody's done, and I sure appreciate your reading this and letting know all the work that's been done, and I don't need to reread it for you. So that'll take care of my report. Oh, let's see, where do we got next? Now, report of the tellers. Okay, it looks like on the election we had 157 people say yes for the slated candidates, and nobody objected to anybody, so everybody's been voted in. Thank you very much. And now, Pastor Mark, could you do the capital?
As I mentioned earlier in my senior pastor comments, for the past 2 years, our council and staff have focused heavily on the renovation of our building. And as you recall, back in 2013, thanks to a generous gift from John and Lil McCullough, we were able to totally dig up the old parking lot and totally reconstruct a new one, as well as the drainage system around it. So it was a magnificent gift. And then just last summer or fall in that area, we were able then, after the 2-year period that we needed to resurface it, we were able to do that as well. Back in 2014 in the spring, we renovated the office area here, which was just a huge improvement in terms of office usage space and traffic flow. A great improvement. We are very grateful for that. And then also major work has been done on the roofing areas. You may not know this, but there are 5 major areas to the roofing of this building because it went up at different times. But the largest area, an L-shaped area, was redone just last May, and that was a huge improvement. And then I also want to lift up our property manager, Brian Venstrom, who has taken on and completed innumerable projects, large and small, inside and out. Brian, I want you to stand up, and I want us to thank Brian today for all the work he's done. The truth is, I can never find Brian in the office because he's always walking around fixing something and painting something and doing something, and we're very grateful for that, Brian. Thank you. The east wing of our building, as you know, has been vacant for nearly three years now. And during this time, and especially over the last 2 years of late, the council and the staff have discussed multiple versions of use for this space potentially. And now, this last year, we've arrived and discerned a plan for that. We're ready to share it with you, how we're going to renovate the east wing, but also improve the lighting and seating in this area, as well as lighting in the fellowship hall, the praise band area, bathrooms, furnaces, just a number of things, too many to list, but things that, again, can be accomplished when we have a large campaign like this. And so because of the significant cost involved, we wanted to do this one time, do all the projects that we've planning to do, and by doing that, having a capital campaign. And we feel very strongly this is a Kairos moment. Right now, the way we've laid this out is a great opportunity for us at St. Mark, and you'll hear more about why this is a Kairos moment. But first, I'd like to introduce our capital campaign committee, and I'd like those members to stand. Steve Carter is co-chair of the committee with myself. He feels deeply bad that he can't be here today. He had a former commitment, could not be here. But he, as I said, co-chairs. Also Ryan Moore, if Ryan is here, could Ryan stand? I don't know if Ryan is able to be with us today either. Kathy Altoff, I saw her, I know she's here. There's Kathy in the back, if you'd stand and stay standing. Pat Kaufman is here. Pat, would you stand? And Mary Panther, I don't think she was able to be here either. But let's offer our thanks to our campaign committee. I was planning to introduce our general contractor, Gary Gessner, today, but when I talked to him on the phone yesterday, I found him in Devil's Lake, North Dakota, ice fishing. Priorities, priorities. So Gary's going to be doing the general contracting work. We're excited about that. Our interior design consultant is Vicki Dyer. Vicki, would you stand? I know you're here. Where's Vicki? Would you stand? Thank you, Vicki. I am just amazed by the ideas she comes up with and how she has this gift, this talent for working with these things. It's tough for all of us, so thank you, Vicki, and we're grateful for all your help. And then also our design architect who's worked with these drawings is Joe Anderson. He's not a member here. I don't believe Joe is here, but we're very excited for his work and accomplishments as well. Now, we felt the best way to introduce this campaign today was to provide a presentation, and we decided early on that the best way to do this was to have this professionally produced. And it's about 4.5 minutes long, and I want you to simply sit back, look up at the screen, and enjoy. Go ahead and hit the light there, Tim. And I'm hoping the sound works this time. Here we go. Listen carefully. Hi, I'm Mark Hagan, Senior Pastor of St. Mark Lutheran Church. In 2011, St. Mark celebrated its 50th anniversary. What a grand celebration of faithful ministry that was. In what direction would God lead us the next 50 years? Thanks to your generous support, St. Mark has developed a thriving ministry. But we cannot sit on our hands or stay as we are. Any church that seeks to be healthy and vibrant over the long haul must continually adapt to the changing needs of those we serve. This requires courageous leaders, supportive members, and a shared vision of God's mission. I'm excited to share with you our Congregation Council's vision, creating space to grow. We have identified 2 prominent spaces for growth. First, the entire east wing of our building has been vacant for nearly 3 years. The Council is recommending that we use this space to create a contemporary cafe occupying the south area and a modern conference room occupying the north area. A folding wall like that in our narthex will keep the spaces separate or opened up as needed.
The St. Mark Cafe will create space to grow by providing a much-needed gathering area to socialize and relax, enjoy beverages, work on a laptop, and meet in small groups. Youth and adults alike will appreciate the appealing conversation space and media resources. Sunday mornings in the cafe will create space to grow additional fellowship before and after worship services. The new conference room will accommodate various committees and study groups, as well as outside community groups.
The second prominent space for growth is our sanctuary. For decades, St. Mark has endured inadequate lighting in the sanctuary. We will overhaul our sanctuary with the latest LED lighting, which will promote energy efficiency and superior lighting effects. Improved lighting will create space to grow our worship, music, and drama events. Included in the sanctuary renovation is a transition from old wooden pews to individual padded chairs. Switching to connecting sanctuary chairs will provide multiple benefits: much greater comfort, shorter rows for easier access and exit, including revised aisles, the ability to arrange the overall seating pattern to accommodate a variety of events, and fresh seating fabric that complements the color of our existing carpet. This new seating will create space to grow new members by providing the very best for comfort and style, giving our worship space a very contemporary look and feel. Other renovations that will create space to grow include new chairs in the lower level for Sunday school and renovation of the women's restroom on the east side, to name a few. On behalf of the Congregation Council, I'm asking for your financial support. We believe that God is at work in a very special way at this time in St. Mark's history. After significant transition this past year, our church staff is complete. Our financial health continues to grow, and new members are joining in substantial numbers. Fresh in our minds is the success of the recent Talents of St. Mark Challenge, in which 60-plus volunteers accepted $3,000 in cash and returned 7 weeks later with over $22,000. It is clear that with God, all things are possible. St. Mark is enormously gifted and blessed for a reason, to be about the urgent work of growing in faith, sharing God's grace. I am convinced that St. Mark will thrive by creating space to grow. To accomplish that, our building and accommodations must be renewed to meet the changing needs of today's church culture. That's why we have set a goal of $500,000 to provide a high standard of hospitality that will serve our community for many years to come. I invite you to prayerfully consider a generous financial gift to St. Mark. With your help, we can create this fresh, inviting space where all are welcome to encounter God's love and grace. I want to thank the producers of our video today. They are from Engine Studio, Doug and Holly Connell. They came to be with us this morning. Doug and Holly, would you stand? And we are so grateful for your work today. Thank you. I asked them if we could have a bloopers version of it, since it took quite a while to get through it. But thank you, Doug and Holly, for your great work and helping us with this important task. I should remind you that starting tomorrow now, this video will be available for you to watch as many times as you like, to tell others about, but it'll be available on our church website. So just go to stmarklc.com and we'll have it right on the front page. Right, Jill? Absolutely. I just say it and she makes it happen. It's a wonderful, wonderful working relationship. Thank you very much, Jill. She's a wizard with all of this stuff, and for her putting this on today for us, we're very grateful. So we hope you will watch this again and again. It's the kind of thing you have to kind of watch multiple times to appreciate. Early this week, and we, again, just put these out in the mail on Friday, bulk mail, so you should be receiving these early this week, is a packet. Now, everyone in the congregation will get this packet, and included in the packet, looking for it, will be a letter. And this will explain the entire campaign. We knew that not everyone was going to come to the church today, so you have to explain the whole thing, right? So this will be a good review for you as well, for those who haven't yet heard about it. But this will outline the whole program and all the dates and important details. Also in your packet, you will receive 3 pages of architectural drawings. What I've got up here are 2 sets of drawings. There are actually 3 boards here, or sheets if you will. The one on the left on each set has to do with the overall top-down version of the east wing, and then we have exterior views in the hallway and interior views of the cafe and the learning area, the conference room. So we have 2 sets here. They're identical, these 3 and those 3. And then we put these up here so that after our meeting today, you can walk up, on each section and kind of take a look and see these a little larger. But you are actually getting copies of all of these in the mail. These are nice color drawings. Also, not included here, but in your mailing, you're going to get a copy that you saw in the video of the sanctuary, moving from wooden chairs to individual connecting padded chairs. And you can see the color choice, how it matches with the carpet, and how the hymnals will be loaded under your chair from the front. Also, we have a picture of the downstairs area that many of you maybe have never seen or haven't seen for a long time. But this picture shows a variety of old chairs down there that need to be replaced, metal chairs. And we want to get new chairs. We don't have pictures of those, but we do for up here. And the Church Plaza Company that we have our demonstrator or sampler chairs from. I have one up here and one over there. They're not the color we're going with, but they are the style of chair. So I've got 2 samples for you to just sit on. They recommend that you sit on them an hour to get a real feel. So we're going to have pizza brought in. We'll have pizza brought in. We have sleeping bags, whatever it takes, just the lineup. You get your hour, and then it's the next person. But anyway, these chairs are out here for you to sit on, and again, one on each side, and we hope you'll come up and peruse these, but these will be sent to you. Look for them in the mail in the next day or 2 if the mail service comes through that quickly, but they'll be here this week. Also included in your mailing will be a sheet like this, a white sheet, which has the main bullet points. When I said that we were focusing on 2 areas, these are the main points that I listed in the video, so these are available for you to look through as well. And then finally, we have a commitment card, especially for this event, and this is available along with a return envelope. And we ask again that you reflect on your giving. This is a gift above and beyond your regular giving, of course, but this has all the options for you. That we ask that you pray, take time to look through the video. Don't rush this, but just think about it. Watch the video a couple times, and then really ask yourself where God is calling you to participate and support St. Mark in this. There's a little part where you can fill out and cut out for yourself, and then just return the main part. It's all very self-explanatory. I should also add that for the next month, really, we are going to continue to lift this up, as you can imagine, because this is such a major event in the life of our church, and it's going to have a profound impact not only on us today, but in the next 10 and 20 years. Again, we want to keep lifting this up and inviting a really thorough response from our congregation. So we're going to have temple talks for the next 3 weeks from each of our campaign committee members. We're very excited to hear from them as well in the next several weeks. We will also have subsequent mailings as the time goes on. We'll have subsequent mailings sent out just as reminders again to get everyone to participate. I need to tell you that I'm so excited about this. You know my excitement, obviously, but I can also tell you that we have 100% participation in this campaign by both our congregation council and our campaign committee itself. Everyone is on board with this. We have unanimous support to support this campaign financially. And I also need to tell you that we have received now some early commitments from a small number, a sample group of St. Mark members. Like any campaign, we reach out to just a few people to listen, to talk, to invite their response to the video, and to make some initial commitments. And I am excited to tell you that as of this morning, we have received, as of today, 21 commitments for a total of $126,000. 21 people have pledged $126,000. That leaves us with a balance of approximately $374,000. We are well on our way to this campaign. Thank you very much. We will keep you informed weekly as the giving comes in, so week by week we can let you know how we were doing. And again, I thank you so deeply as your pastor and as one of the leaders in this effort to support us and to be a part of this really vital campaign. As I said, we've got drawings up here, and following the meeting, I hope you'll come up. I will be available up here to answer any questions about the design, and I'm sure you will have questions about this, so I'm really happy to be a part of that. I think our campaign members who are here can do the same as well. At this time now, before we finish, I would just like to ask if there are any questions. I'd be happy to answer any questions from the group here. Yes, Inara. No, because these are chairs, the hymnal holders, there will be racks underneath the pew, so you'll simply just reach down and pull your hymnal out from under your pew. The benefit of that is, you know how like when you're on an airplane and someone sits down and they keep rattling your chair? Likewise, when you shove a book in a pocket behind the chair or under the chair, especially something as blunt as a book, it's going to constantly be felt. Also, the chairs wear prematurely when you have a pocket, a cloth pocket on the back of a chair. So there's a lot of reasons to not do that. The most popular way with chairs like this is to have them hooked together, and they actually form like a pew, both on the back and the seats. They're very, very comfortable. That's going to give us a lot more room in here. We can configure them in different ways for different events. One of the benefits to this is that you know how short these sections, or how long these sections are and short these are here. But we're going to revise these aisles. If you look at the back, you'll see that the center aisle comes straight up, but those doors on the outside, you have to walk around. And so the two main sections are actually going to be shorter. I look in this area, for example, and most of the middle is vacant on this side and some here. By having shorter segments here in the middle, we're going to be able to line up the aisles straight. We'll actually fill up the two sections more so, and these side aisles will actually be moved over. So you on the side here, you'll have an aisle next to the wall, and you'll have more seating over here as well. Likewise, on that side, we'll be able to correct some of the problems that we have with those columns and the seating there. So it gives us a chance with chairs to redo this and reconfigure it so that we actually fill more of the seats the way we want to. And right now, it really discourages full seating. This is going to have a better feel to it. It'll be far, far more comfortable. You'll agree when you sit in these chairs, there's a little lumbar support for your back, for your seat. I have to say that a couple weeks ago, Bob, when you had your concert here, I was sitting in one of the pews, and normally I'm sitting over here in a padded chair, so it doesn't bother me. But I sat for over 2 hours in these seats, and they were killing me after an hour. I don't know how you folks do it with the. I know you pray for keep these services short, but the backs are not comfortable. They're really not. Churches that are building new buildings today don't put pews in for the most part. They put in nice chairs. So that, again, because when people are coming in here, you want them to feel comfortable for the long haul. You want them to hear well. You want them to see well. We want the worship experience for every new person coming in to be like that any other place they would go. They expect good lighting, to hear well, and to be very, very comfortable. So that combined with the flexibility of seating arrangements, and again, I know you're going to miss this olive green stuff here on the seating cushions, but we're going to get a very, very nice complementary color. When we get new lighting and we get new seating, it's going to pop in here. Visitors are going to come in here and go, wow, this is gorgeous. The other thing I think about, too, for all the times in which we have our praise band leading worship here, too, it's far more conducive to various kinds of music and groups and concerts to have chairs. So we have a lovely space here, which is very conducive to the flexibility of chairs that hook together. There'll be a transition part where you'll think, well, this is different, this is odd. It's like driving a different car or any time when you have change, but you will come to like it and love it because of the flexibility, the style, the comfort, and the usability of it. When I first thought about this, I thought, wow, this is going to be a big change. And I've had a lot of time to think about it. We've gotten a lot of good feedback on these chairs as well, and we're very excited for that feedback, and it's all been extremely positive. So, again, come up and sit in the chairs. Sharon, have any questions you have with me about that issue? Yeah.
You're going to have this new cafe area in the east wing.
Yes.
Coffee hours are going to be moved to that.
Good question. That's a really good question, Les. We feel that right now, you notice how everything happens on this end of the building? Everything is over here, and that whole part of the building is just sitting there. One of the things I'm very excited about is this is going to allow us to have coffee in both places. So we are not eliminating anything, we're adding. This is the beauty, much like when we went from 2 services to 3 services, we didn't take away anything, we added something. And so we're going to add that whole section down there, and I think it's going to be an amazing response. We will have, like we have 2 jugs of coffee out here, we're going to have, like that bun system, we'll have 1 down there. I don't think we need 2, but we'll have 1. So we'll have people that will be hosts in both places so that we can have out here coffee like we always have for people who want to stand around. And I got a great idea from someone the other day that I visited. And they said, how about just some freestanding little round tables that you can stand around and put your coffee on and talk around? And I thought that was a great idea. So we can maybe have something like that out there. As well as down in this other area, we'll have a variety of seating areas. I envision that area over there, you see those double doors? I think that's going to be as crucial an entrance to St. Mark as this area here. Because people come in here, but for all the people that come in from that side, instead of making them wander 1.5 miles to get to that door, we're going to have now a place where immediately there will be coffee, there will be hospitality. They can come straight from that area, right through those doors and come in here. So we'll have greater access into and out of the sanctuary, more ways to, again, rearrange the chairs, but to welcome and greet people. We won't have that section congested down there. But to answer your question, we'll have coffee, hospitality there, and we'll have space down there for people to spend as much time as they want. You can have a conversation that, let's go down here and have coffee, and let's sit down a little bit, and we can talk and relax. You're going to be amazed at how how appealing that space will be, will want to spend time there. It'll also be a place where people can be away from worship on Sunday morning. Sometimes stuff going on back there is very visible to us, both visually and we can hear things going on. So it gives a space for socialization, hospitality, all kinds of things where it is not disturbing the place here. But after services, it'll be a place for people to stay. So it's a space that will be used all Sunday morning, and we're very excited about having more of everything. That sounds like a commercial, more of everything. More of everything on Sunday morning to welcome people and to show hospitality. But one of the biggest things that helps people commit to a church is when people like you welcome them and say, let's talk. When you spend time with visitors, like you'll be able to do in that space, and invite them to sit down and have a cup of coffee, maybe something to eat, when you show interest in them and get to know them, it has a huge benefit on the growth of the church. This isn't just a coffee space, we're creating a space to grow St. Mark, just like the campaign says. It'll be a valuable space for learning, for the conference area, for presentations. That's a space that'll have a wall like we have here, so we can have it separate for different groups, but then open it up for large events. Again, it's something we'll use Sundays, we'll use during the weeks. It's just going to be a wonderful gift. I can't tell you how many times I've walked into other churches and said, I wish we had a space like this. We don't have a space like this. But it's a crucial space for hospitality, getting to know people, getting to grow our ministry. So I'm deeply excited about this, and I think we'll have great coffee hours in both places, Les. Yes, Carol.
Yes, back to the chairs. I like the idea very, very much. But the one thing I would recommend, we've done this every different week. Most of the time, in the wintertime, we're down south. So we've gone to different churches, and many of them are doing without hymnals. They use the screens. That way you wouldn't have to even worry about hymnals at all, or even extra copies.
Well, thank you. I think that's a good point, and we are using this, and again, that's something, again, we can explore, is how we continue to use the PowerPoint, the screen, and the use of the hymnal. Well, that's true. Yeah. Well, I know for some people, Carol, they just like to hold a hymnal, and there may be some that feel that way. Is that true? Or do some of you like to hold a hymnal? Some of you, okay. Yeah. But what we try and do here is just offer something for everybody. So you have the option of using the hymnal or not using the hymnal. So again, this way we provide options for everybody, and then it's up to individuals. But yeah, I appreciate the point. And actually, that's why we have the things we have on the screen right now, because these are things that I think really make it helpful. But again, we'll continue to talk about that. Yeah.
Yes, is there a breakdown in cost by each construction area?
We're working on that, Bob. That's a good question. Bob asked if we have a breakdown on that. Right now, Bob, the architectural drawings have been given to Gary Gessner, and we're out getting bids for the things in here. We have bids in for 3 engineers that will do the electrical. In here, it's not a matter of simply replacing lights. It's a matter of redesigning the electrical structure so that we have adequate LED lights. Again, over the middle section here, you have very bad lighting. I mean, all you have is indirect light. So we're going to redo this with LED lighting so that we're going to try. The trick is to get in that space up there. I think there's a narrow crawl space. We're just not sure. Sometimes a building this old, it's hard to find the plans and how to get around up there, but our architects are confident that they can do this. So we're going to make sure that our lighting is adequate. We're going to get rid of the fluorescent lighting, which bleeds onto the screen. We're going to try and just really improve things so we have great lighting wherever you are. It's going to be dimmable. It's going to be lovely. Again, it'll complement the chairs. It'll just be a lovely space. But we don't know what that bid is yet. We're getting bids on the electrical work here. So once we get our bid, then we'll know on the lighting. But our overall estimate of $500,000 we feel is certainly adequate for both spaces. And then again, we're hoping to have enough to do other things throughout the building as well. But we'll keep you informed of that as soon as we get some hard numbers. Yep. And also, Vicki Dyer has been working to get numbers as well with her vendors. Yes. Right. What we're going to do here, this is my understanding of the way we can approach this again without having to replace everything. We've had this carpet for 9 years. The pews have been in place. They're held down by bolts, which are real, as Brian will tell you, really a chore to get out of here. But once we get those bolts out, we feel that because of the pattern of the carpet and the color, we should be able to fill those holes with a very neutral kind of matching color. The chairs are going to, for the most part, go in the same place, with the exception of the aisle here. But the aisle will actually be coming down here, an area that hasn't been walked on a lot. Once we get all the lighting done in here, then my thought is we're going to come in and have this place shampooed and really deeply cleaned. What we will do in the meantime, though, before that, is remove a couple pews and just see how the carpets react to shampooing and treating and carpeting, and then we'll go from there. But my hope is we can keep this carpet. That's my hope. Don.
I'm really excited about the conference space and that area there. I mean, after being on council, holding our council meetings in there, reconfiguring the tables at our retreats and all that kind of thing, I just think that's just going to be such a wonderful improvement for meetings and so forth for internal and external people.
Yeah, thank you, Don. And it's for outside groups as well as for us. Vicki, you have a follow-up? Okay. Yeah, okay, good question, but I'll repeat the question. Vicki is wondering with that when we configure, will we have the same amount of seating? Is that basically, yeah. And what? Legroom, yes, thank you. Well, that's a deep subject to me, legroom. I never have enough. When I sit out here, yes. Yes. Okay, again, my vision for this is it gives us great flexibility. Right now, my feeling is when I sit in these pews and try and walk, you know, have you tried to walk? You kind of do the side shuffle thing, trying to get past, because the pew racks are in the way and you don't have much legroom. First of all, in most churches, you want to be able to fill up 85% of the available seating. That creates a sense of fullness. Once you get beyond 85%, then there's kind of an uncomfortable feeling like, oh my gosh, where are we going to sit? It's funny how that works, but you know, nobody sits in the front pew, so that's a vacant space. But what I see us doing here is we don't have to put the pews so close together. My thought is with these chairs, being a tall person, I would like to see more space between the chairs so that you can get up and actually walk by somebody in your own row if you need to. By having shorter sections, you know, we come in, you won't have to climb over as many people. But I'd like to see, again, roughly the same amount of seats, but not packed so tightly. I also think in the very back, those two back pews, there's not enough space in the back to walk, you know, back and forth. I think the space is about right here. But we're going to play with it. You know, I'm committed to seeing that we don't crowd or shove too many chairs in so that we feel, you know, crowded. I think that is very, very important to give people space between the rows and then within the sections itself. Yes, Steve.
As a new person, I've not investigated or looked at the church in terms of its handicap accessibility. But is that a consideration for the lower level, beautiful worship areas you got down there?
Yeah. Right now, we are not handicap accessible downstairs. We have an entrance in the back, stairs here, and then down the other way. But that is not a part of this particular campaign. Bob.
Yeah, I think this lighting improvements would be terrific. Was improvements in sound that are part of this discussion? Because I know our sound system is old and attached and sometimes it's hard to hear the children because we don't really have a proper sound system.
Yeah. When Pastor Scott was here, we implemented the Bose system that we have here. But again, I would be very open to looking at how we can continue to augment that as well. So I think once we get these pieces again, that's why we set it for $500,000. We can address other things as well that we need to address in there. But I think that's a really good point, Bob. And again, we can always improve on that. Yes, Carl. Yes. We believe that we can do both sections, so I don't think we're going to have to do an either or. Again, it's going to depend on what money comes in. We already have a worship space, but we don't have that space available. So our first area will be that area and this area, but there's really not a first or second, Carl. We're actually going to be working on both simultaneously. So we're confident that the cost of this is going to be well within our reach, and we're simply going to do both of them. Our time scale is hopefully we will be able to start with the renovations in May, and that by the end of the summer, we'll be completely done. So that's our hope, so that as we move into the fall, all this will be ready to go. Well, you didn't have Gary Gessner, did you? We've told Gary what his time frame is, so if he ever quits fishing, he'll get it done, I think. But that's a good question. We feel that's all within our reach. We'd like to get going as soon as we can. I mean, it's really up to how quickly the funding comes in. And being it's interior work, we can start that when the money comes in.
Is there a market for pews so we can sell these pews?
Well, how much is it worth to you? I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's something we're gonna pursue. Obviously, this as a church, we're going to look at that. There may be some people that want to purchase them. There may be some churches, organizations that we want to gift them to, again, as a show of gratitude. So we'll kind of explore that. The council will look at how we move the pews out of here. So, but we haven't made a firm determination on that, Marlo. So, yes. Well, what I would suggest is, again, beyond these two areas and the lighting in that area, we are very, very open to your input for things you would like to see. Again, this is our church, it's our work, and I would really value, like the sound and that and some other things too. Let us know what's important to you, because again, we can take that feedback to the council, and again, it's a long list of things, so we'd be happy to consider that and fit that in where we can. This really is the beginning of some major things in the life of St. Mark. I've been so grateful for the things you have done in the past to lead to this point, but I'm very, very confident that we can do this. And we're doing this for today, and we're doing this for the future. And I can't stress enough how important it is when people walk into this space to feel welcome. They need to feel that it's clean, that it's attractive, that they're comfortable here, that they want to stay here, they want to be in this place, that they feel welcomed by you. We have a sense of great joy in providing a great space, not only for our activities, but for them. But again, remember that this is for the future of this church. And again, I don't mean to beat a dead horse here, but we can't sit still with this. This is stuff we absolutely have to do, because churches, attendance, Sunday school worship is declining in this country. And we have to be aggressive as a congregation. We can't be short-sighted. We have to be very aggressive, because it's not just for us. It's for the future of St. Mark, and so that we can keep growing. And I am determined to be here for the long haul. I think I've proven that to you, and for the long haul to come. I feel this is my call to see us through this, as with everyone else too. So I hope we will all band together. Let's keep throwing ideas out there, because I think those ideas are great. We may not be able to do every idea that comes out there, but that's not the point. The point is that we are all investing in this work together, and I thank you for that. Any other last questions or comments? Yes? Oh, yes. These aren't the chairs we're going to put downstairs. These are specifically chairs for sanctuaries. But, oh yes, anyone can sit, yeah, they're not too high. But I invite you all to come up and sit on the chairs, and these are their most popular chairs that they sell all out the country. The company I'm going with, Church Plaza, sells the most chairs to existing and new churches in the country. They're a remarkable company. These are their two best-selling chairs for a reason. So you sit on them and tell me what you think. So, any other questions? Last.
Snow is starting. We move to make it adjournment.
Certainly. I just want to be sure everybody, and I will hang around here if you have any other questions. Are we okay to move on? I'll be up here if you have any other questions. Okay, that question has to be answered by the president, so I will defer to him. Thank you very much.
And now for the favorite question, are we ready to adjourn? We are ready to adjourn? Okay. Could we finish with the Lord's Prayer? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Thank you very much.